तमे सब किछि स्ट्रक्चर बनै कि देखिबो. You have to draw a structure. You have to draw the structure. What is line organization structure? You have to draw. You have to means what? You have to explain, but you have to draw the structure. That is very much important. So likewise, matrix organization structure, you have to draw the structure, and basing on this, you have to explain. Right? So here ame kahiba matrix organization structure re ei jo structure asila here. Though many managers, many functional managers are working together in this particular structure, so here it is people are more flexible. It is basically what it improve communication among the managers, right? Two-way communication, and it is basically what it is two-way communication with open communication among the managers and the employees, right? And apart from this, here what now people are doing their task properly through proper coordination, cooperation kind of things, and also people are taking decision mutually. Also, problem solving is very quickly, right? ସମସ୍ତେ ଗୋଟେ ଜାଗାରେ କାମ କରୁଛନ୍ତି, ଏ ସବୁ ଯେତେବେଳେ ହଉଛି, so decision ବି quickly ନିଆଯାଉଛି, ଆଉ problem ବି quickly solve ହେଇପାରୁଛି, right? ଏ ସବୁ ରହିଲା ଆମର matrix organization structure ରେ, ଯୋଉଟା କି people are working in vertically and horizontally also, right? But though ଆମେ ଯଦି ଏଠି କହିବା matrix organization structure, ଆର ତ ବହୁତ ସାରା advantages ଅଛି, but ଆମେ ଯଦି disadvantages କହିବା, ଆମେ ଏଠି କଣ କହିପାରେ ପିଲାମାନେ? It is little bit costlier. କାହିଁକି ନା cost effect wise ଆମେ ଯଦି କହିବା, it is more expensive because it is big organization, many people are working, that's why it is basically cost effective. It is more means it is basically high cost, no? And also we can say little bit conflict among the managers due to the mismatch of the understanding, mismatch of the mentality. So little bit conflict it may be happen. But this is the matrix organization structure, is a combination of different organization structure. तो पिला माने structure जते बेला आसीबो, सब आग structure को बनेबो आउ ताको explain मध्य करिबो. Clear ना? बुझी गलो ना पिला माने? Yes रे?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. तापरे चलो. देखो. Departmentation. Hela. Now we will discuss departmentation. Now departmentation ko. See, departmentation means it is the grouping of activity. Grouping of activity commonly known as departmentation. Grouping of activity kauna madam? See, organization structure, there are 5 structure already we have completed. It is a separate part. Now we will discuss the chapter is the departmentation. Departmentation means it is the grouping of activity commonly known as departmentation. And the activity people are doing based on the specialization, right? It is the, basically we can say in a simple manner, departmentation means a large organization, it can be divided into smaller and flexible administrative units. गोटे बड़ ऑर्गेनाइजेशन को आमे ताको कोन करिबा डिवाइड कर दबा डिफरेंट डिपार्टमेंट रे. काहेकि ना to operate smoothly, flexibility will be there, smoothness will be there, and the administrative work it can be done through very easily. It is a grouping of activity. Activity आगु group कर दबा. Department भाग बांटी दबा. Grouping of activity. Activity को different group रे भाग बांटी दबा. Divide कर दबा. ताको कहला departmentation. Hela. Now, what are the different types of departmentation? कितने प्रकार मैडम और basis of departmentation? Type और basis दिटा को समान. What are the different types or basis of departmentation? See, the different type of departmentation, it is based on the departmentation. You can see this slide here. We will discuss, there are 6 categories of departmentation here. छह प्रकार डिपार्टमेंटेशन को आम डिस्कशन करबा हैला। तो छह प्रकार कौन कहते? डिपार्टमेंटेशन बाय फंक्शन कुआडे गला रे, डिपार्टमेंटेशन बाय फंक्शन, डिपार्टमेंटेशन बाय प्रोडक्ट, डिपार्टमेंटेशन बाय लोकेशन, डिपार्टमेंटेशन बाय टाइम, डिपार्टमेंटेशन बाय प्रोसेस and equipment, and departmentation by customers. Hello. So these are the different basis of departmentation. Basis कहि परिबो पिला माने, also types of departmentation मध्ये हमें कहि परिबा हैला। तो now what do you mean by departmentation by function? सुनो ध्यान रे मने रखिबा सब आगु हैला। Now what do you mean by departmentation by function? कौन देखो, this is the departmentation by function structure टा देखु जो हैला। एठी departmentation रे main कौन reflect हुए कहिला, the important tasks of the departmentation, important area of the departmentation, the structure. Without structure we cannot identify. तो तमे खाली एठी explain करिवो, खाली लेखिबो मेंचे, ताहले आर कोनोसी मतलब नाही, किछि हम जानि परिबन तमे कोन करूछ एठी। Departmentation means you have to draw the structure. Departmentation by function means this is the functional departmentation, you have to draw the structure. Basic of this, someone will identify this is such kind of departmentation. Hela. कौन है गला बा?
Excuse ma'am, man previous slide data point रही गला लिखिबा पई।
देखो खाली कॉल आगा से काटी दे माने मुसे उठे दे माने याडे कटि जीवो, सेडे काटला बेले याडे होउनी हैला। से कॉल टा तो मत से ये करी रखि दे, एटा देखिला एटा ना?
Yes
This one?
yes ma'am.
Okay. Over?
Yes ma'am, thank you ma'am.
Okay. Okay. See, departmentation by function, this is the structure of departmentation by function. See, departmentation by function, you can see this slide here, board of director, managing director. Under this person, there are 4 type of departmentation. You can see this slide here. Departmentation by production, marketing department, finance department, and personnel means human resource department. Again, this department here आमे खाली गोटी एडी माने एक्सटेंड कराइची, कारण जागा हबनी कहि कि गोटी एक्सटेंड करची। जेमति आमे कहियो अंडर मार्केटिंग डिपार्टमेंट, मार्केटिंग इज अ मेजर डिपार्टमेंट, अंडर मार्केटिंग डिपार्टमेंट हैविंग सब डिपार्टमेंट। कौन सब डिपार्टमेंट? मार्केट रिसर्च इज द अनदर डिपार्टमेंट, अंडर मार्केटिंग इज अ मेजर डिपार्टमेंट। ता अंडर रे के रहिला, कौन को डिपार्टमेंट आसला? अंडर मार्केटिंग अंडर आसला सेल्स, एडवर्टाइजिंग, मार्केट रिसर्च। एडवर्टाइजिंग अंडर आसला न्यूज़पेपर, radio, TV. Advertise हमें कौन सी देबा? Either we will go for the electronics media, print media. Print media is like newspaper, electronic media like TV, radio, right? So these are some departmentation related to department. Marketing is a major department having so many sub departments. Likewise, production department is a major department having sub department. What are the sub department? We can say grinding, denting, welding, painting, and grafting, processing. Many departments are sub departments are the production department. Finance department, account department, audit department, having many departments under the finance department. HR department, recruitment, selection, training, performance appraisal, wages and salary. Many sub department under the HR department. So different department having different, in the top level, managing director and group of directors will be there. Under this top level department executive will be there, chief manager of HR, chief manager of finance, chief manager of marketing, chief manager of production, right? This person will report to the managing director will report to the board of directors, right? Hierarchical position. and having sub-department having also variety type of manager, having another sub-department having employees, workers, kind of persons are working basing on this. So different functional area having different managers. ମୁଁ HR ବୁଝିଲି ତମେ finance ବୁଝିଲ. As per the specialization ଆମେ already starting ରୁ ପଢିକି ଆସିଲେ. ଏଠି definition ରେ ଆମେ କଣ କହିଲେ? Departmentation as per the specialization. It means what? It is a grouping of activity based on the specialization. ଯିଏ production ରେ expert ଥିବ ସେ production manager ହବ, production ରେ କାମ କରିବ. ଯିଏ HR expert ଥିବ ସେ HR ରେ କାମ କରିବ, HR manager ହବ. ଯିଏ finance ରେ expert ଥିବ ସେ finance ର କାମ କରିବ. ବୁଝିଲ ନା? So this is what the departmentation by function. तापरे चलो departmentation by देखो एठी आउरी क्लियरली एठी देखैछि एई देखो सेठी गोटे देखैथिला ए देखो जनरल मैनेजर प्रोडक्शन finance HR marketing production रे आसला production control manufacturing purchase तार सब functional area finance रो capital budgeting current assets budgets तार सब functional area HR रो recruitment placement training promotion sub functional area marketing रो advertisement sales promotion research and development sub functional area तामाने एठी रहिले के टॉप रे बोर्ड ऑफ डायरेक्टर रहिले मैनेजिंग डायरेक्टर से मानको एटा जनरल मैनेजर सब रहिले जीएम चीफ जनरल मैनेजर्स देन ता अंडर रे रहिले मैनेजर्स ता अंडर रहिले एम्प्लॉय ता अंडर रहिले वर्कर्स एम्ति करी करी तलुक जिवे. So this is the functional area having different persons are working based on this specialization. हैला तापरे चलो डिपार्ट बुझी गला ना पिला माने यस ना क्लियर ना
Yes, ma'am.
हैला तो ए अनुसार स्ट्रक्चर करिवो ए अनुसार एक्सप्लेन करिवो. तापरे चलो डिपार्टमेंटेशन बाय प्रोसेस. ना डिपार्टमेंटेशन बाय प्रोसेस कोन ना तापरे कोनटा पळेला रे हां डिपार्टमेंटेशन बाय प्रोडक्ट सुनो डिपार्टमेंटेशन बाय प्रोडक्ट कोन different organization having different kind of product हैला जेमिति कि हमें कोन कहिबा घर हमें गोटे ऑर्गेनाइजेशन रे गले तार केतेटा हाउ मेनी प्रोडक्ट्स आते धर हमें सैमसंग गले सैमसंग इज ऑर्गेनाइजेशन हैविंग वैरायटी काइंड ऑफ प्रोडक्ट कोन प्रोडक्ट ना जेमिति कि हमें कहिबा प्रोडक्ट हैला हां डिपार्टमेंटेशन बाय प्रोडक्ट रे हमें नहीं परिबा एग्जांपल रे गोटे हैला सपोज प्रोडक्ट हैला रेफ्रिजरेटर लैपटॉप वॉशिंग मशीन हैला देन आसिला हमर कोन कहिबा कहिला तापर आसिला हमर एसी हां हमें चारटा बिग प्रोडक्ट कोइने टीवी तो डिपार्टमेंटेशन बाय प्रोडक्ट वाइज अगेन हमें डिवाइड कर देबा कोन कहिलो एक्टिविटी एंड प्रोडक्ट वाइज अगेन डिवाइड हेबे managers. One manager, it is the manager is control the what? The manager control korchanti the entire production, the production related to refrigerator. आउ जने कंट्रोल करचंती प्रोडक्शन देखुचंती एंटायर सेल्स एंटायर प्रोडक्शन रे देखुचंती किए ना हमर आर पाई एसी. So organization having different product, different persons are there who is responsible for that particular product. जमते हम एठी कहिले departmentation by product we can say mortgage one product, commercial loan got one product, consumer loan one product, checking account is another product. So one person is working in the mortgage loan, another is commercial loan, another person is responsible for consumer loan, another person is checking his account is the another responsibility of the another person. So departmentation by product, different person having different kind of different kind of product, they are managing and maintaining such kind of products, right? So this is the responsibility of the departmentation by product and having a persons are working in that particular product. Hello. Jetapala made departmentation by process. See, departmentation by process, it is basically we can say Departmentation by process is exclusively applicable for the production operation department. Means while the organization received raw material and after many processing, we will get the final product. That is what? That is the after many things, no? After many steps, we will get the final product. Raw material to finished good. Having variety kind of stages and steps are there. Through this, we will get the final product. So that is the departmentation by process and equipment. When the production manager is there, under the production manager, different sub departments are there. ଯେମିତି କି ଆମେ ଏଠି example ରେ ଦେଇଛେ ଗୋଟେ spinning, dyeing, weaving, finishing. Apart from this drafting, apart from this packaging, apart from this labeling, variety kind of sub departments are there. And different sub department, one production manager is there. Under one production manager, many sub departments are there. Many sub departments, many managers are working. Suppose any kind of problem will happen in a weaving area, so the responsibility of that manager. Any kind of problem will occur in a finishing area, the responsible of that manager. So I'm a dyeing manager ko dakiban, right? So different manager having different area of responsibility. This is a departmentation by process or equipment. Departmentation by location or territories, right? Territorial department, territories, right? Departmentation by locations or territories, we can say. See, suppose the organization is basically we can say operating its business all over India. It may be within the country or MNC. It depends. Suppose the organization operating its business in all over India, in our country. So organization having a head office in a particular state, and apart from this, the organization operating its business in East Zone, West Zone, North Zone, and South Zone. ତାମାନେ ମୁଁ କଣ କହିଲି? ଧର ଆମେ କହିବା ଟାଟା ର ହେଡ ଅଫିସ ହେଲା ଧର ଦିଲ୍ଲୀ କି ମୁମ୍ବାଇ ହେଲା। ତା ଛଡା ତାର ଚାରିଆଡେ ବିଜନେସ ଅଛି, ଅଲ ଓଭର ଇଣ୍ଡିଆରେ ଅପରେଟ କରୁଛି ଟାଟା, ରିଲାଏନ୍ସ, ଆଦାନୀ, ଅମ୍ବାନୀ ଆଣ୍ଡ ଟାଟା, ରାଇଟ? ଏମାନେ ତ ଏମଏନସି ୱାର୍ଲଡରେ ଅପରେଟ କରୁଛନ୍ତି ବିଜନେସ, ଆମେ ଖାଲି ଆମ କଣ୍ଟ୍ରିର କଥା କହୁଛେ ହେଲା। ଇଣ୍ଡିଆନ କମ୍ପାନୀ ବଟ ଦେ ଆର ଦ ଏମଏନସି। ସପୋଜ ତାଙ୍କର ହେଡ ଅଫିସ ହେଲା ଦିଲ୍ଲୀ, ସେଟା ତ ରହିଗଲା ସେଣ୍ଟ୍ରାଲ ଜୋନ, ସେଣ୍ଟରରେ ରହିଗଲା। ଆପାର୍ଟ ଫ୍ରମ ଦିସ୍ ଇଷ୍ଟ ଜୋନ, ୱେଷ୍ଟ ଜୋନ, ଇଷ୍ଟ ୱେଷ୍ଟ, ନର୍ଥ ସାଉଥ, ଚାରିଟା ଆମର ଜୋନରେ ଡିଭାଇଡ କରାହେଇଗଲା। ଚାରିଟା ଆମର କଣ ଜୋନାଲ ମ୍ୟାନେଜର, ଇଷ୍ଟ ଜୋନରେ ଗୋଟେ ମ୍ୟାନେଜର ଆସିଲେ, ହେଡ ଅଫିସ ରହିଲା କୋଉଠି ଟପରେ ସେଣ୍ଟ୍ରାଲ ଜୋନରେ, ଇଷ୍ଟ ଜୋନରେ ମ୍ୟାନେଜର ରହିଲେ, ୱେଷ୍ଟ ଜୋନରେ ମ୍ୟାନେଜର ରହିଲେ, ନର୍ଥ ଜୋନରେ ରହିଲେ, ସାଉଥ ଜୋନରେ ରହିଲେ ହେଲା। ସିଏ ପୁଣି ଡିଭିଜନ ୱାଇଜ ପଳେଇ ଆସିବେ। ଯେତେବେଳେ ଚାରିଟା ଜୋନ ଅଣ୍ଡରରେ ପୁଣି ଆସିଯିବ କଣ, ସେଇ ଜୋନରେ କେତେଟା ଲେଖା ଷ୍ଟେଟ ଅଛି, ହାଉ ମେନି ଷ୍ଟେଟ୍ସ ଆର୍ ଦେयर, ଯେତେଟା ଷ୍ଟେଟ ସେତେଟା ଷ୍ଟେଟ ମ୍ୟାନେଜର ଆସିବେ। ସେ ଗୋଟେ ଗୋଟେ ଷ୍ଟେଟ କୁ କଭର କରିବେ। ସେତେଟା ଷ୍ଟେଟ ର ସେ ଷ୍ଟେଟ ରେ କେତେଟା ଡିଷ୍ଟ୍ରିକ୍ଟ ଅଛି, ଡିଷ୍ଟ୍ରିକ୍ଟ ୱାଇଜ କେତେ ମ୍ୟାନେଜର ଅଛନ୍ତି ହେଲା। ସେଇ ଡିଷ୍ଟ୍ରିକ୍ଟ ର ଡିଷ୍ଟ୍ରିକ୍ଟ ହେଡ ଆସିବେ, ଷ୍ଟେଟ ହେଡ, ଜୋନାଲ ହେଡ, district head, then state head. Hello. Sorry, zonal head, state head, then district head. District head under ଆସିଗଲେ ପୁଣି କଣ ତା ତଳ ଲେବଲ ରେ ଯେମିତି କି ପର୍ଟିକୁଲାର ଏରିଆ ହେଡ, ସେ ଏରିଆ କୁ କଭର କରୁଥିବ। ତାପରେ ଅର୍ଗାନାଇଜେସନ ହେଡ, ବ୍ରାଞ୍ଚ ହେଡ, ବ୍ରାଞ୍ଚ ମ୍ୟାନେଜର ହେଲା। ସୋ ଏମିତି ଆସିଲା କଣ କହିଲେ ହାଇରାର୍କିକାଲ ପୋଜିସନ ୱାଇଜ। କଣ୍ଟ୍ରୋଲିଂ अरे पिला माने कटि गला ना अछि रे
मैम अच्छी
अच्छी अरे 4 थर कॉल कले माने कोन कहले इमरजेंसी कॉल आगो भाबी के उठेले उतरे चलो चलो हैला कोन कहबी को हैला तो डिपार्टमेंटेशन कोन हैला रे ना आमे कहिले कोन ना लोकेशन और टेरिटरी वाइज कोन कोन हैला ना फर्स्ट रहिले सेंटर रे कहि कहि आसली लास्ट तळ पर्यंत सो एमिति हैला कोन देखो सपोज आमे एठी गुटे एग्जांपल नबा गोटे लोक रहिले हेड हमर रहिले के रे सपोज आमे कहिबा कि एठी मुकेश अंबानी हैला मुकेश अंबानी हेले कोन सीईओ ऑफ द रिलायंस एम्पायर्स हैला तांको अंडर रे गोटे प्रोडक्ट रहिला फॉर एग्जांपल मु कहूची चारटा फंक्शनल एरिया रहिला एचआर मार्केटिंग फाइनेंस प्रोडक्शन हैला आमे एचआर को जिबा एचआर रे रहिले किए ना एचआर मैनेजर रहिले टॉप रे जे कि आकु करिवे काहाकू रिपोर्ट करिवे मुकेश अंबानी को सीए पुनी एचआर मैनेजर सिना सेंटर रे रहि गेले दिल्ली रे तापरे कार पूरा इंडिया रे बिजनेस स्प्रेड हेची त माने कोन बेटी different managers are there in a HR स्पेशली मु कुछ HR डिपार्टमेंट आउ सब आगो सेमती हमें कॉपी पेस्ट कर दबा हैला डू मार दबा त माने HR मैनेजर इन ईस्ट वेस्ट नॉर्थ साउथ चारिटा आगो रहिले HR मैनेजर जोनल मैनेजर जोटा कि पूरा ईस्ट वेस्ट नॉर्थ साउथ रे तापर आसी गले ता तो लोक कोन कि आसिले रे जोनल मैनेजर पर आसिले स्टेट मैनेजर हैला स्टेट वाइज किए गला डिस्ट्रिक्ट आसीगला डिस्ट्रिक्ट वाइज आसीगला कि डिस्ट्रिक्ट मैनेजर डिस्ट्रिक्ट अंडर के आसीगले एरिया वाइज आसीले एरिया वाइज आसीगला ब्रांच आसीगला ब्रांच वाइज आसीगले ब्रांच मैनेजर ताले रिपोर्टिंग केतला हबो पूरा लाइन पूरा तळु ऊपर पर्यंत एमती रिपोर्टिंग हेई का जीवो जोठी प्रॉब्लम हैला सेही मैनेजर रिपोर्ट करिवो ता ऊपर वाला को ता ऊपर वाला को ता ऊपर वाला को एमती हेई रिपोर्टिंग का हेई का जीवो हैला so basing on these organizations are operating its business on the basis of कौन रे कहिले ना हमें कहिबा प्रोडक्ट वाइज फंक्शन वाइज टेरिटरी वाइज प्रोसेस वाइज लोकेशन वाइज सबो वाइज हैला तापर आसो डिपार्टमेंटेशन बाय टाइम डिपार्टमेंटेशन सी most of the organization operating its business 24 hours those organization operating its business 24 hours गोटे लोक तो 24 hours काम करि परिबोनी से केते घंटा काम करिवो 8 घंटा काम करिवो त माने 24 hours divided into 3 parts each person will work 8 hours it means one person will 8 hour work 8 hour in a morning shift then another person will come 8 hour in a evening shift another person will come in a work in the night shift right 8 hours each person will work 8 hours so there are 3 shift it is those organization are operating its business 24 hours the people are working in a 3 shift day shift morning shift evening shift as well as the night shift basing on this shift wise the organization controlling its staff members right this is the departmentation by time hello departmentation by customer wise departmentation are also there see कस्टमर आमे कोन कहबा जदि आमे मैक्सिमम ऑर्गेनाइजेशन रे हां जोटा कि आमे देखुचे कोन देख तो एना जिबो हमर रेलवे टिकट काउंटर को लेडीज मानकर गोटे लाइन अछि हैला नॉट जनरल जेंट्स मानकर गोटे लाइन अछि जनरली आमे कहबा पीएच फिजिकली चैलेंज जो माने से मानको पई गोटे सेपरेट लाइन अछि हैला बैंकिंग सेक्टर रे जिवो ओमेन मानको पई तांकर सेपरेट ये रहउची corporate banking school banking ladies banking industrial banking agriculture banking different departments are there having different kind of means people are there serving their they're serving facility towards the society so here customer departmentation different customer having different department right गोटे धर गोटे 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 आमे कहिबा कि जनरल पर्सन अध घंटा ठिया परिबो गोटे पीएच कैंडिडेट ठिया बडे डिफिकल्ट ओल्ड एज पर्सन गोटे ठिया बा डिफिकल्ट राइट सो कहा पई कोन प्रायोरिटी दिया छिबो सो बेसिंग ऑन दिस कस्टमर वाइज डिपार्टमेंटेशन आर आल्सो देयर इन द ऑर्गेनाइजेशन राइट प्रायोरिटी वाइज तो डियर स्टूडेंट्स एठु कोन बुझिलो जितले डिपार्टमेंटेशन आसिला हैला first you have to explain what is departmentation. Departmentation कोन first रे 2 लाइन लिखिबो तापरे लिखिबो what are the question आस्तिबो what are the briefly explain the different types or basis of departmentation. These are the 6 category of basis of departmentation, right? And these 6 category of departmentation you have to draw a structure. एमती स्ट्रक्चर ड्रॉ करिबो ड्रॉ करिकि ता तळे लिखिबो एक्सप्लेन करिबो हैला प्रत्येक डिपार्टमेंटेशन रो गोटे गोटे स्ट्रक्चर जदि तमे ड्रॉ न करिबो देन जणा पडिबोनी सेटा तमे लिखिचो कोन then you have to explain this is such kind of departmentation and basing on these those organizations it is specifically applicable in a big organization those organization operating its business no national level and international level जदि तमे MNC की पळेबो से तो आउरी डिफिकल्ट टास्क नो more difficult to manage no सेठी तो आसी गले MNC रे कंट्री मैनेजर आसी गले एठी तो हम स्टेट मैनेजर डिस्ट्रिक्ट मैनेजर जोनल मैनेजर एरिया मैनेजर आमे कहले से तो कंट्री मैनेजर आसीबे कंट्री गोटे गोटे कंट्री रे हेड रहिबे से माने राइट इंडिया रो पूरा इंडिया रो जने हेड थिबो पूरा इंडिया रो जहा एचआर रिलेटेड प्रॉब्लम आसिला कोठी जदि आमे हायरार्किकल पोजीशन जिबा सेही लोक चीफ जनरल मैनेजर जोटा कि आसीबो टॉप रे थिबे ताको सेमति कंट्री को से रिप्रेजेंट करिवे बिहाफ ऑफ कंट्री सेमति तांकर जेतेटा कंट्री ऑपरेट होतो बिजनेस सेमति कंट्री हेड रहिबे जितले मुकेश अंबानी कथा हेबे से धर हमर यूके रे कोन प्रॉब्लम हला से यूके रे कंट्री हेड सहित कथा हेबे से आशा सहित कथा बा किछि जस्टिफिकेशन नै राइट से कोन थाय कि सेटर वर्कर सहित कथा हेबे कि नो एनी काइंड ऑफ एनी थिंग्स विल हैपन दैट द मुकेश अंबानी विल डिस्कस विथ दैट कंट्री मैनेजर सो द कंट्री हेड आसेगल एमएनसी सेक्टर मानकर ये तो हमें नेशनल लेवल रे कथा है so this is what the departmentation पिला माने बुझिलो कि yes or no clear or not tell me
Yes, ma'am.
पूरा क्लियर ना आपको अनुसार स्ट्रक्चर बने के एक्सप्लेन करि परिबो ना स्टूडेंट्स
Yes, ma'am.
ओके तापर चलो डेलीगेशन सेंट्रलाइजेशन एंड डिसेंट्रलाइजेशन तीनटा जिंस एठी हमें पढिबा हैला कोन कोन पढिबा रे गोटे हैला डेलीगेशन आ गोटे पढिबा हमें सेंट्रलाइजेशन आ गोटे पढिबा हमें डिसेंट्रलाइजेशन नाउ व्हाट डू यू मीन बाय डेलीगेशन फर्स्ट डिपार्टमेंटेशन तो पढि देले हमर बहुत सारा हमें पढले जोटा कि हमर डिपार्टमेंटेशन कोन तार बेसिस कोन सेडी हमर केते कोऑपरेशन रहइबो कोऑर्डिनेशन रहइबो सब किछि हमर डिपार्टमेंटेशन अंडर रे आसी गला नाउ कम टू द पॉइंट डेलीगेशन कोन डेलीगेशन मींस is assigning responsibility and authority to someone mane kiye generally the superior will delegate task towards the subordinates kiye delegate karibo re task ko superior someone edi kiye rau organization re someone mane asigala mane subordinates it is the bonding between superior and subordinates ना जिते बेले कामटा डेलीगेशन हबो कामटा डेलीगेट सुपीरियर काहा को करिबा ऑब्वियसली सबऑर्डिनेट्स को तारो सो डेलीगेशन इज असाइनिंग रिस्पांसिबिलिटी एंड अथॉरिटी टू someone in order to complete a clearly in order to complete the task हमर in order to कोन करिबारी ना कामटा को हम सक्सेसफुली कंप्लीट करिबा the manage सब काम करे मैनेजर करि परिबे कि इज इट पॉसिबल एवरी वर्क माने सब ऑर्गेनाइजेशन सब काम मैनेजर करे तो ताले मो एम्प्लॉय काहे रहिले सब तो मैनेजर करिबे इट इज अ लुक आउट बाय द मैनेजर will handle मैनेजर will do everything then what is the need of the employees what is the need of the workers but there is no need of employer किछ दरकार ही नै जदि मैनेजर सब करिवो राइट सो एथि कोन हैला पिला माने So delegation means it is assigning responsibility, including authority. खाली मो तुमको कामडा दे देले हतनी मो खाली कहबे पिला माने सब काम कर दो बारे काम करियो से तुमको अथॉरिटी भी दिया ना so that we can take decision हमें किछि डिसीजन भी नै परिबो हमें किछि माने सेठी किछि हम निजर इन्वॉल्वमेंट हमर व्यू हमर आईडिया हमें लगै परिबो राइट so here basically Now responsibility and authority, the superior will provide towards the subordinate so that the work will done, successful work will done in that particular area. So delegation means, in a simple way, it is the assigning work to subordinates. Others means subordinates. And to give them authority to do. ताको authority दिया हला, भाई तू एक कामटा करिबू, हैला. And ଯେତେବେଳେ ଏଟା ଆସିବ delegation always it must be, it is a delegation ଟା କଣ ଥାଏ ରେ ପିଲାମାନେ? Na delegation it generally it is a two-side relationship. Two-side relationship means what? While the superior will delegate work towards the subordinate, the relation, that kind of communication, that kind of information sharing must be there. ଏଇଟା ନାଇଁ କି superior subordinate ସହିତ ଭଲ contact ନଥିବ, ମାନେ contact ଏଠି କଣ ଆମେ personal କାମ କରୁଛୁ କି? Obviously we are all are professional, no? But two-side relationship means two-way communication is highly essential. ଏଇଠି ଆମେ ଯଦି superior ଆସିବ ଖାଲି ଗୋଟେ file ଥୋଇଦେଇ ପଳେଇବ subordinate front ରେ, subordinate କେମିତି ଜାଣିବ what is the things I will do? No? So here two-side relationship means two-way communication is highly essential, right? Where transfer the authority and responsibility. Here trust, faith, kind of things is highly essential. The superior must trust towards the subordinate while delegating the work. ଯେତେବେଳେ ମୁଁ ତମ କାମଟା assign କରୁଛି, ମୁଁ ତମ ଉପରେ ସେତିକି trust ରଖିବା ଦରକାର, faith ରଖିବା ଦରକାର, believe କରିବା ଦରକାର. ଯଦି ସେଇ trust, faith ଆଉ believe ରହିଲାନି, ତାହେଲେ ସେ କାମ ହେଇପାରିବନି. Right? And also the superior have to be, means apart, means what? At the time of delegation, that much freedom the superior should provide towards the subordinate. So the subordinate will take decision. Right? बारंबार superior पाखु जो सर मैं एटा करिबि कि सर मैं एटा कले हबो कि आ ताहाले मु तुमको तमे मते कोन काम देला मु जदी सब जाई तुमको पचारले डिपेंडेंसी हे गला इंडिपेंडेंट आ केतला हेली आ तुम इंडिपेंडेंट हे पाले ना. So each and every step I'll ask you, and basing on your decision I will take this step. So it is purely dependency relation. Independent, how, where is there the independence? Right? So basing on this, so this kind of situation is highly essential at the time of delegation of work. Hela pilla mane sar asile mate kahibo. Hela. Apart from this type of delegation, kete prakara delegation re? Na delegation generally jodi ame kahiba, the superior delegate work towards subordinate day-to-day activity. No? Day-to-day activity, how the work, the every day-to-day activity must be run smoothly without any confusion and conflict. That's why the superior delegating day-to-day activity towards the subordinate, general delegation. Specific delegation, specific task. Specific delegation means what? It is a specific, it means it is very important task, right? Delegated by superior towards the subordinate. Sometimes formal and informal delegation. General delegation, day-to-day activity, specific delegation, some kind of important task and activities. It is more important general task too. Na? Formal, informal delegation. Formal delegation, obviously, as per the order, as per the order, as per the guideline, the superior will assign the task towards the subordinates. But informal delegation, that kind of means documentation work may not be there. The superior verbally means we can say formal delegations are more written and informal delegations are more oral delegation. Right? Formal delegation means it is a written delegations, means where the order, where the basically we can say notice kind of thing should be there. And informal delegation, it is a basically verbal delegation. No, I can delegate task, a person of task to you based on the verbal communication. So these are the different types of delegation, dear students. पिलामाने बुझिलो कि रे? पिलामाने?
Yes, ma'am.
हैला? आर बेनिफिट्स बहुत obviously. डेलीगेशन जेतेला आसिला सेतेला कोन वर्बल हो ऑर्डर हो देखो आमे वर्बल कहिले फेस टू फेस मु तुम डेलीगेट कली ଯେତେବେଳେ ରିଟର୍ନ ଆସିଲା ଅର୍ଡର କଲି ମାନେ ଅର୍ଡର ମାନେ ରିଟର୍ନ ଫର୍ମାଲ ରେ ଅର୍ଡର କଲି ସୋ ଅଲ୍ଟିମେଟଲି ଆର ବେନିଫିଟ ବହୁତ ରହିବ ଯୋଉଥିରେ କି ବେସିକାଲି both the peoples means the superior subordinate they will do their task properly without any confusion without any conflict organization can do their work in time complete their task in time because both the persons are working together towards a particular purpose of work both the persons are working together towards the objective towards the purpose and where the trust faith support belief are there. That's why every work, every task, it will complete on time. No? So many benefits are there in case of the delegation. Here, suppose we can say in the advertises, we can say the superior means will not feel burden towards a task. No? Superior somehow will free, no, relaxed in that particular area. No, here someone is there who will complete the task on time. So many advantages, many benefits are there related to delegation, and it is highly essential in this present environment. No, superior individually cannot handle everything. So it is the responsibility of the subordinate also, but the superior have to assign such kind of things towards the subordinate so that the proper delegation can be possible. ବୁଝିଲ ପିଲାମାନେ ବୁଝିଲ କିରେ yes ନା
Yes, ma'am.
ତମ ସାର୍ ଆସିଗଲେଣି କିରେ
Ma'am ଆସିନାହାନ୍ତି।
ଆସିନାହାନ୍ତି ଆଚ୍ଛା ହଉ ସାର୍ ଆସିଲେ ମତେ କହିବ ମୁଁ କଣ୍ଟିନ୍ୟୁ କରୁଛି ହେଲା
Okay, ma'am.
ହଁ ମୁଁ ଏଠି ଦେଖିପାରୁନି ତ କାହିଁକି ତାଙ୍କୁ ଡିଷ୍ଟର୍ବ କରିବା ମୁଁ ସ୍ଲାଇଡ କୁ ପଳେଇଲେ ଆଉ ସାରଙ୍କୁ ଦେଖିପାରୁନି ଆଜି ବହୁତ କମ ପିଲା ଆସିଛନ୍ତି ରେ ପିଲାମାନେ କୁଆଡେ
Yes,
ଗଲେ ସବୁ
ma'am.
ପିଲା କୁଆଡେ ଗଲେ ସବୁ ରେ
Idea name.
ଆଚ୍ଛା ଆଚ୍ଛା ଶୁଣ delegation centralization and decentralization it is a small chapter organization structure it is a long question big chapter right organization departmentation it is a big chapter means it is a long question bada chapter tie but the delegation centralization decentralization small chapter 5 mark question 5 marks lekha question yago dhara delegation dhara 8 mark hela centralization decentralization 5 mark question hela to centralization कौन decentralization कौन देखो एडु पिक्चर रो देखि परिबो what you mean by centralization and decentralization देखो लेफ्ट साइड रे जो पिक्चर ता अछि स्ट्रक्चर ता अछि this structure said centralization this structure reflects centralization and जो right hand side रे जो अछि that reflect decentralization तामाने मैडम centralization decentralization कौन centralization means here we can say it transferring and assigning decision making basically here na higher level of an employee in the organization hierarchy mane kon buchhilu ma'am centralization means it is the power and authority in the hand of higher level managers ପିଲାମାନେ ବୁଝିଲ ସେଣ୍ଟ୍ରାଲାଇଜେସନ ମାନେ କଣ କହିବ ଏମିତି କଣ ଏକାଥରେ କଲ ପଳେଇ ଆସୁଛି ବା ହେଲା ପିଲାମାନେ ହ୍ୟାଲୋ ପାୱାର ଆଣ୍ଡ ଅଥରିଟି କାହା ଅଣ୍ଡରରେ ରହିପାରେ କାହା କଣ୍ଟ୍ରୋଲରେ ରହିପାରେ ସୁପେରିୟର କଣ୍ଟ୍ରୋଲରେ ରହିବ centralization means the authority and power that controlled by the superior but while we will go for the decentralization is the first step of delegation it means in the decentralization authority and somehow the responsibility and authority delegated transferring by superior towards the subordinates. It means it is the first step of delegation. Decentralization is the first step of delegation. In centralization, only the superior will take decision, whereas in decentralization, what will happen? The subordinates also participate in the decision-making process. In the centralization, we can say in this both areas, centralization and decentralization. A picture ko dekho. In centralization, information it will only comes from top to bottom. It means superior only can communicate towards subordinate. It is a vertical factor, no? Subordinates, they don't have that much of scope to communicate with the superior. खाली आसीबो ऊपर आडू तळा आडू तमा सेतरे तुमको स्कोप मिलिबनी हां सुपीरियर को सेति के कम्युनिकेट करिवा पई कि व्यू की इंफॉर्मेशन शेयर करिवा पई बट इन डिसेंट्रलाइजेशन इट इज free and open communication. You are free, you are open, you are communicate with your superior, no? And decision also combinedly, देखो structure combinedly they will take. ସେମାନେ କଣ କରିବେ ପିଲାମାନେ combinedly ସେମାନେ decision ଟାକୁ ନେବେ ହେଲା ଏପା ସାର୍ ଆସିଗଲେନି ପିଲାମାନେ କହିଥିଲି ସାର୍ ଆସିଲେ କହିବେ ବୋଲି ତମେ ତ ଆଉ କହିଲନି ରେ ପିଲାମାନେ ହ୍ୟାଲୋ ଷ୍ଟୁଡେଣ୍ଟସ୍
Yes, ma'am, କିଛି ଜଣା
ଆଜ୍ଞା ମ୍ୟାମ୍
ଆଚ୍ଛା ସାର୍ ଆସିଗଲେଣି ହେଲା କାଲି କି ଆର ଆଉ ମାନେ କଣ ସେଣ୍ଟ୍ରାଲାଇଜେସନ ଡିସେଣ୍ଟ୍ରାଲାଇଜେସନ ଟାକୁ କମ୍ପ୍ଲିଟ କରିବା ଟିକେ ହେଲା କମ୍ପ୍ଲିଟ କରିକି ଆମେ ଯିବା କୋଉଠିକି କହିଲେ କଣ ଡିସ୍କସନ କରିବା ସ୍ପାନ୍ ଅଫ ମ୍ୟାନେଜମେଣ୍ଟ ଦେନ୍ वी विल डिस्कस कोऑर्डिनेशन एंड कंट्रोलिंग ହେଲା ଯାହା ଯାହା ପଢେଇଲି ଦେଖି ଦେଇଥିବ କିଛି डाउट କାଲି ମତେ ଫାଷ୍ଟ आई विल क्लैरिफाई योर डाउट देन आई विल कंटिन्यू योर क्लास ହେଲା चलो ମୁଁ ଏଠି ଷ୍ଟପ୍ କଲି ପିଲାମାନେ सी यू टुमारो ସାର୍ ଆସିଗଲେଣି ମୁଁ ଷ୍ଟପ୍ କରୁଛି ହଁ थैंक यू बाय बाय
Bye.
Good evening.
गुड इवनिंग सर
Good evening, sir.
Good evening. Okay, so before starting a new chapter, is there any doubt regarding the previous chapters? Do you have any specific doubt regarding previous chapter what we discussed? Or else, shall I proceed? Please allow me to proceed further. Don't waste time because it's now 6:10. Still, we are having two blocks, block 4 and block 5. Shall I proceed? Okay, in block 4, we'll discuss preparation of financial statements. So, how financial statements are to be prepared? Already I told you that after a recording of journal, then after that you have to go for posting the journal into respective ledger head accounts. Then after that you have to prepare the trial balance. And while studying trial balance, I told you that trial balance itself act as a question which will help in preparing the financial statements of the organization, where the organization has to prepare three different accounts and one statement at the end of each financial year. That is, as we know that basically there are two types of organization. One is manufacturing cum trading organization, and second one is only trading organization. In case of trading organization, what trading organization they are doing? They are purchasing goods from somewhere and selling those goods to the ultimate consumer or to the ultimate customer, for which they have to prepare only two accounts and one statement. That those two accounts are, one is trading account and second one is profit and loss account, and one statement, that is balance sheet. Okay, balance sheet is a statement. Why balance sheet is a statement? because it is to be prepared only on the last date of the financial year, that is 31st March of every year. But whereas trading is an account, profit and loss is an account, because it has to be prepared for a particular year, for a particular financial year. Whereas in case of manufacturing cum trading accounts, these type of organizations, they have to prepare three types of accounts and one statement. What are those three types of accounts? The first one is they have to prepare manufacturing account. Second one, they have to prepare the trading account. And third one, they have to prepare the profit and loss account. And fourth one is the statement, that is to be prepared only on the last date of the financial year, that is called balance sheet. Okay. So let us discuss the thing in a detailed manner, for which I am sharing that particular part. Okay. Is it visible to all of you, final accounts?
Yes,
So
sir.
here already I told you that these are the three different types of accounts where I am putting my cursor. Manufacturing is an account, trading is an account, profit and loss is an account, but balance sheet is, it is a statement. Manufacturing account, trading account, profit and loss account are to be prepared for manufacturing cum trading organization, whereas only trading account, profit and loss account, balance sheet is to be prepared for a trading organization. Clear? Then, what is the objective of preparing manufacturing account? If anybody will ask you that what is the logic or what is the objective of preparing manufacturing account, you have to say that to find out the cost of goods produced. Okay, how much cost of goods produced made during a particular financial year, that can be easily assessed or that can be easily known by preparing manufacturing account. Second one, if anybody will ask you what is the objective of preparing trading account, then you may say that the very basic objective of trading account is to find out the gross profit or gross loss of the organization. When there is gross profit, there is no question of gross loss, and when there is gross loss, there is no question of gross profit. Then, if anybody will ask you what is the objective of preparing profit and loss account, then you have to say that the very basic objective of preparing profit and loss account is to find out net profit or net loss. Okay, so if there is net profit, there is no question of net loss, and if there is net loss, there is no question of net profit. Then, if anyone will ask you what is the objective of preparing balance sheet, the very basic objective of preparing balance sheet is to assess the financial health or financial position of the organization on a particular date. That means financial soundness can be judged only by preparing the balance sheet of the firm or the balance sheet of the organization. That means what is the financial status or financial position on a particular given date. So in from balance sheet, you can easily assess how much assets are there, how much liabilities are there, what it owes, what it owns, and where it stands in the market, and what is the market capitalization, that can be easily assessed by preparing the balance sheet. So let us discuss one by one what are the different items to be taken while preparing the manufacturing account. See, these are the at the top. This is the format of preparing the manufacturing account. So at the top of the manufacturing account, you have to write manufacturing of account of Messrs. So and so. Here I have written one name Nano. Okay. So manufacturing account of Messrs. For which type of business organization, that you have to mention, and for which year you are going to prepare the manufacturing account, that year must have to be mentioned. So at the top of the manufacturing account, you have to write manufacturing account of Messrs. So and so organization for the year ending so and so. And the two sides of the manufacturing account is known as debit side and credit side. And in the format, there are basically four columns. Okay, the first two columns represented as debit side of the manufacturing account. The second two column represented as the credit side of the manufacturing account. Clear? So these are the C where I am putting the cursor. These are the different items that you have to write on the debit side of the manufacturing account. Okay, and only one item that you have to write on the credit side of the manufacturing account, and the last item on the credit side, that is the balancing figure, that is known as the cost of finished goods transport to trading account, that is the balancing figure. Okay, cost of finished goods or cost of goods produced, which has to be transferred to the trading account as a balancing figure. So first of all, what are the different items that can be taken in the manufacturing account on debit side? First item is two raw material consumed. You have to find out how much amount of raw material has been consumed during that particular year, for which you have to take four different items. One is opening stock of raw material. What is that opening stock of raw material? Opening stock of raw material means the stock which is lying at the beginning of the financial year. Okay, that is opening. And with that, you have to add how much purchases of raw material made during that financial year. That you have to add. Then another thing, another item that you have to add, that is called freight, carriage, import duty, etc. on purchase of raw material, because you are purchasing from a particular from a different place, and you have to bring that raw material from that particular place to the ultimate place of production. That you have to add. Then from that you have to subtract one item that is known as closing stock of raw material. So by adding this and by subtracting this with the opening stock of raw material, then only you can find out how much is your raw material consumed. Clear? ଓଡ଼ିଆରେ କହିଲେ କ'ଣ ନା କେତେ ତମ ପାଖରେ ଥିଲା, କେତେ କିଣିଲ ଆଉ କେତେ ରହିଲା ତମ ପାଖରେ, ତାହେଲେ ତମେ କ'ଣ ବାହାର କରିପାରିଲ ନା କେତେ ଟଙ୍କାର କଞ୍ଚାମାଲ ତମେ କନଜ୍ୟୁମ କରିଛ ଗୋଟେ ପର୍ଟିକୁଲାର ଫାଇନାନ୍ସିଆଲ ଇୟର. The next item in your manufacturing account to which is to be recorded on the debit side, that is called to direct labor. What do you mean by direct labor? Direct labor or which is otherwise known as direct wages. Okay, these are the expenses which have been incurred from the side of the organization directly while converting the raw material into finished product. That's why the term direct labor is there, which is to be written on the debit side of the manufacturing account. Then another item is direct expenses. Okay, direct expenses are those expenses which can be directly incurred while producing the particular product. Okay, that should be recorded on the debit side of the manufacturing account. Then another item and sub items are there, that is called factory overheads. Overheads means indirect expenses. Okay, the items or the expenses which are incurred only inside the factory. See, factory rent, factory lighting, factory maintenance, factory depreciation, factory supervisor salary, factory repairs and renewals, factory fuel, factory gas and water. All these things that which are coming or which are incurred inside the factory or manufacturing organization, that you have to write under the head factory overheads. Okay. Then after that, the last item is to opening stock of work in progress. What do you mean by work in progress? Work in progress means it is one item which is not in a item of inventory, which is not in a usable condition. It has not yet been finished. Okay, it is yet to be finished or yet to be utilized. So how much is the opening, that you have to write on the debit side of the manufacturing account, and on the credit side of the manufacturing account by closing stock of work in progress. How much work in progress is still to be finished, that you have to write on the credit side of the manufacturing account. Then when if you add on all these items, the total item is to be written in this particular space, that is the amount column. Then out of the total amount, you have to subtract only this item. Then the balancing figure will be cost of goods produced during particular financial year. Clear? So any doubt on any item? Just look at the format. Any item? Any doubt? Okay. Next we will discuss the trading account. Okay. Trading account. What is the objective of trading account? Trading account means to find out the profit, how much is your gross profit or how much is your net profit. Okay. So the manufacturing account, like manufacturing account, trading account is to be prepared, and at the top of the trading account, you have to mention trading account of Messrs. So and so for the year ending so and so. Okay, like manufacturing, and there are two sides. One is debit side, okay, and another is credit side. The left hand side of the trading account is known as debit. The right hand side of the trading account is known as credit. And you have to pick up different items. You have to pick up different items from the trial balance itself. Understood? From the trial balance, because as I told you, trial balance itself acts as a question which will help you in finding out or in preparing the manufacturing account, trading account, as well as profit and loss account, as well as balance sheet. So from the trial balance, you have to pick out some items which are to be recorded on the debit side of the trading account, as well as on the credit side of the trading account. And what is the objective? I have already told you, to find out whether there is gross profit or gross loss. So let us discuss one by one what are the different items that are coming under the debit side of the trading account. The first item is to opening stock. What is the meaning of to opening stock? Opening stock means how much stock is lying at the beginning of the financial year, that you have to write. This is the first item, to opening stock. Okay, then after that you have to add another item, that is two purchases. Okay, how much purchases of finished product made during the particular financial year, that is two purchases less purchase return, or else in some books it is known as return outward. Purchase return is otherwise known as return outward. What is the meaning of purchase return? Let's say, take example, you have purchased 10 products, okay, at a time, and while opening that particular cartoon you found out that out of 10 product, two products got damaged. So what you have to do? You have to return that two damaged product to the concerned supplier. So how much is your net purchase? Net purchase is your 8. Okay, so two purchases, 10 less purchase return 2, so net purchases is 8. So in the amount column you have to write 8. 8 is the number of product, but what is the amount of that corresponding 8 number of goods, that you have to write in the amount column. Then the third item on the debit side of the trading account, that is called carries inward. See, while purchasing of the stock from a particular place, or from the particular place of production, you have to bring them to the ultimate place of consumption, for which you need some sort of carriage. Okay, that means you either you need a let's say you are purchasing from Calcutta. So, in order to bring from Calcutta to Bhubaneswar, either you can take the help of railway, or you can take the help of truck, or you can take the help of lorry, or else, as you are residing in Bhubaneswar city, you have purchased from Cuttack. Then, how to bring that particular stock from Cuttack to Bhubaneswar, or from Calcutta to Bhubaneswar? That amount which you have incurred while bringing the purchases, or while bringing the stock from a particular place to the ultimate place of consumption, that is coming under carriage inward. Okay. The next item is freight. Carriage inward is freight is a part of carriage inward. What is? Let's say, take example, you have utilized the land transport, that is railway. So for railway, that is known as freight. Bhoda. Freight ra Odia ta hochi bhoda. Okay. Then that is a direct expenses which are recorded on the debit side of the trading account. Then two wages. How much wages you have incurred? Okay, during your trading account, or during your operating businesses. Okay, that you have to write on the debit side of the trading account. Then factory expenses, whatever the amount incurred inside the factory. Okay, so in the manufacturing account, factory expenses are there. In the trading account, also factory expenses are there. Why? These are the two different things, because already I told you, for manufacturing come trading, all factory expenses have to be recorded in the manufacturing account. But in trading account or trading organization, only factory expenses. Let's say secondary packages. For secondary packing, they are considering some sort of expenses they are incurring, for which that is to be recorded on the debit side of the trading account. Then store consumed. Okay, that is a one item of direct expenses. Okay, that is to be recorded on the debit side of the trading account. Then you have to add another item, that is called royalties. Royalties in the form of rent. Okay, that you have to pay on the utilization of the plant and machinery, or on some copyrights, or on some technical know-how you are utilizing, for which you have to pay royalties at regular intervals. Then two, motive power, megahertz power, motive power or megahertz power. Most of the electricity, maximum electricity, how much electricity you have consumed during a particular financial year, that you have to write on the debit side of the trading account. Then coal and coke, how much coal and coke you have utilized during a particular financial year, that you have to write on the debit side of the trading account. Then to water, how much water you have consumed, how much oil you have consumed, that also you have to record on the debit side of the trading account. Then primary packing. Okay, basically packing is of two types. One is primary packing and secondary packing. Primary packing is an example of direct expenses, which is to be recorded on the debit side of the trading account. Let's say, take example, you are preparing, or you are producing bath soap. Okay, so after production of bath soap, you have to cover that particular bath soap, each bath soap. let's say, for example, locks. You might have seen that in locks wrapper, locks shop, that primary packing is made, and in that Aishwarya Rai picture is there. Okay, that is the primary packing. And when a good number of locks or a 10 number of locks are to be packed in a particular cartoon, that particular cartoon is coming under secondary packing, which is an example of indirect expenses and to be shown on the debit side of the profit and loss account, not on the trading account. So only primary packing is to be recorded on the trading account, debit side of the trading account. Then octroi charges that you have to pay, that is to be recorded on the debit side of the trading account. Then dock charges, CPR, that dock charges you have to pay. Then custom duty in the airport, that you have to pay custom duty, which is an example also of a direct expenses to be recorded on the debit side of the trading account. Okay. Then coming to the credit side of the trading account, the first item on the credit side is buy sales. How much sales you have generated or you have made during a particular financial year, that you have to record in the inner column, and from that you have to subtract sales return. That means you have sold 10 items, customer found 2 items are defective, so they have to return. Like when we return the defective item to the supplier, similarly customer are returning some defective items as they found. So net sales, that is to be recorded on the amount column. And the next item is buy closing stock. Like opening stock is to be recorded here, where I'm putting the cursor. Opening stock is to be recorded on the debit side of the trading account, whereas buy closing stock is to be recorded on the credit side of the trading account. Okay. After that, as I told you, to find out what is the objective, what is to be found out while preparing trading account, gross profit or gross loss. So before finding out gross profit or gross loss, you have to find out what is the total of debit side and what is the total of credit side. If the total of credit side will be more, listen very carefully. If the total of debit side will be more, then and the total of debit side will be less, then there is said to be gross profit, and that profit is to be transferred to the profit and loss account by writing a notation on the debit side of the trading account, that is to gross profit transferred to profit and loss account. Clear? Otherwise, if the debit side is more and the credit side will be less, okay, so then there is said to be by gross loss transfer to profit and loss account. This is the notation which is to be written on the credit side of the trading account. And here it is written as a note that if there is gross profit, there is no gross loss, and vice versa. So this is all about how to prepare the trading account. So is there any doubt regarding on any item? Is there any doubt regarding on any item? Okay, next we'll discuss the profit and loss account. What is the objective of preparing profit and loss account? The objective is to find out the net profit or net loss of the organization or the firm. Okay, so like manufacturing account and so, sorry for the interruption. So before recording any item on the debit side of the profit and loss account or any item on the credit side of the profit and loss account, first item that you have to record, if you found gross profit, listen very carefully. If you found gross profit while preparing the trading account, that gross profit will be recorded on the credit side of the profit and loss account by writing the notation in the credit side of the particular column, that is by gross profit transferred from trading account. Clear? But If you found gross loss while preparing the trading account, that should be recorded on the debit side of the profit and loss account by writing the notation to gross loss transferred from trading account. Then the all other items that you have to pick up from the trial balance, which are all items of indirect expenses. See, expenses are of two types. One is direct expenses, second one is indirect expenses. What do you mean by direct expenses? Direct expenses are those expenses which can be directly identified while producing a particular product, whereas indirect expenses are those expenses which are helping out while selling the finished product to the ultimate product. All direct expenses are to be recorded on the debit side of the trading account, whereas all items of indirect expenses are to be recorded on the debit side of the profit and loss account. Similarly, incomes are of two types. One is direct income and second one is indirect income. So direct income are those income which can be generated by the firm or by the organization while selling the finished product to the ultimate customer, that is to be recorded on the credit side of the trading account. And indirect income are those income which are not occurred in the day-to-day ordinary course of business and which should be recorded on the credit side of the profit and loss account. Only these two important statements you have to bear in your mind while preparing the trading account as well as profit and loss account. Let us discuss one by one item. What are items that are to be recorded on the debit side as well as on the credit side. The first item is to salary. So how much salary you have paid? How much salary you have paid during a particular financial year to your employees or to your laborers or to your executives, whatever it may be, that you have to record on the debit side of the profit and loss account to salary. The next item is to rent, rates and taxes. How much rent, how much rates and how much taxes you have already paid, that you have to record on the debit side of the profit and loss account. The next item is to printing and stationery, that is to be recorded on the debit side of the profit and loss account. Then postage and telegram, that is all administrative expenses. Postage and telegram, that is to be recorded on the debit side of the profit and loss account. Then audit fees. What do you mean by audit fees? Let's say it is the responsibility of all the business firm that they have to appoint one internal auditor as well as on yearly basis they have to appoint one external auditor, for which what is their responsibility? Their responsibility is to carry out audit activities of the firm, for which you have to pay some sort of fees to them, some sort of remuneration to them, which is to be recorded on the debit side of the profit and loss account in the form of audit fees. So that is an example of indirect expenses which is recorded on the debit side of the profit and loss account. The next item is to insurance. Let's say you know that on business firm there are different assets on which you have to carry out your insurance. On your product you have to carry out your insurance, take out some insurance. On business organization also you have to carry out some sort of insurance. Okay. Then next item is to discount within bracket DR, which is known as debit. To discount DR, which is known as debit, and already I told you discount is of two types. One is discount allowed and discount received. Okay. Discount allowed means it is an example of loss for the organization or expenses for the organization. That's why the discount which is a loss, okay, which is a loss or which is an expenses, are to be recorded on the debit side of the profit and loss account. That's why here it is written to discount debit. Already while preparing the cash book we discussed or we know that the debit side discount is there, credit side discount is there. Okay, so discount debit, total of discount debit is to be recorded on the debit side of the profit and loss account, and discount credit is to be recorded on the credit side of the profit and loss account. The next item is two packing charges. That is called secondary packing. Already I told you packing is of two types. One is primary packing, second one is secondary packing. These two packing charges that is coming under secondary packing, which is an example of indirect expenses and have to be recorded on the debit side of the profit and loss account, two packing charges. The next, two trade expenses. That means the day-to-day trading expenses. Okay, day-to-day trading expenses. Again, it is an example of indirect expenses which is to be shown or which is to be recorded on the debit side of the profit and loss account, trade expenses. Then 2, depreciation. How much depreciation? In the last class, I told you depreciation is an example of indirect expenses for which there is no question of cash outflow. Only you have to show on the debit side of the profit and loss account as an item of expenses on the debit side of the profit and loss account. The next item is 2, bad debt. What do you mean by bad debt? If anyone will ask you, please define the term bad debt. Bad debt means the debt which became bad. The debt which became bad. ता माने को debt माने को धार होता. तमे धरो जनकु 5 टका धार देइछ से तमको फेरेलानी ताले से धार टा कोन होला bad हे गला आउ मिललानी. That is called bad debt. Similarly, business has given or business has sold some goods on credit to different customer, and in return customer didn't pay that amount, and that amount is to be treated as bad debt, and that is to be recorded on the debit side of the profit and loss account. The next item is 2, interest on capital. Okay, interest on capital. It is an example of what? Example of expenses. But it is an example of income for whom? It is an example of income for the owner, because owner is going to receive this interest on capital. So why it has to be added with the capital? Why owner is responsible for receiving this interest on capital? Because owner has contributed the whole amount of capital while starting the business firm. So it is the responsibility of the business firm to pay some sort of interest to the owner, which is an example of expenses or indirect expenses to be recorded on the debit side of the profit and loss account. The next item is to provision for discount on debtor. What is the meaning of this to provision for discount on debtor? Let's say an example. What do you mean by debtor? Debtor are the individual who owes money to the business. Debtor are the individual who owes money to the business. Clear? So it is the responsibility of the business firm or the organization to collect the respective trade dues from the debtor, respective trade dues from the debtor. Clear? So at a defined period of time, let's say within a particular period of time you are going to collect, but before that, before the completion of that stipulated time or the stipulated period, if any of the debtor return money to you, so what should be your responsibility? Your responsibility is to allow or is to give them some sort of discount, that is known as provision for discount on debtor. Okay. The next item is 2, traveling expenses. How much expenses you are going to incur or you have already incurred while traveling? That is an example of indirect expenses, and that will be shown on the debit side of the profit and loss account. Clear? So these are the different items that you have to write on the or record on the debit side of the profit and loss account. Then on the credit side of the profit and loss account, the first item already we discussed, that is by gross profit transfer from trading account, that is to be recorded first. Then all other items of indirect incomes like by rent from tenants. Let's say some portion of your business firm or some parts of your business firm you have given on rent basis. So from them you are receiving some sort of rent. Okay, for which you are receiving some sort of rent on yearly basis, that is an indirect income that is to be recorded on the credit side of the profit and loss account. Then the next item is by discount within bracket credit. Credit in short it is known as CR. Okay, by discount credit. Okay, so that is to be recorded on the credit side because you have received discount. On the debit side, discount allowed, that you have allowed discount, you have given discount, that is a loss. But here on the credit side, discount credit means discount received, that is an income for the organization, indirect income that is to be shown on the credit side of the profit and loss account. The next item is by commission. By commission. Commission means again you have received some sort of commission from different vendors. Okay, which is an example of indirect income, which is to be shown on the credit side of the profit and loss account by commission. The next item is by bad debt recovered. By bad debt recovered. Clear? What is the meaning of that by bad debt recovered? Let's say in this part where I am putting my cursor. Okay, bad debt means the debt which became bad. Okay, already bad, that you have recorded on the debit side. But here by bad debt recovered, last year some of the debtors who have been declared as bad debt, they have paid this year. Okay, so when you are receiving last year bad debt during this financial year, that is to be treated as by bad debt recovered, and that is an example of indirect income. When bad debt occurred, that is an example of indirect expenses, and when bad debt recovered, that is an example of indirect income that is to be shown under the head profit and loss account on the credit side. The next item is buy income from investment. Buy income from investment. Let us suppose surplus money of the farm or the organization has been invested in different investment vehicles or investment instrument from which the business is generating some sort of income. So that is an again that is not the routine income or the day-to-day income of the farm. So that is an indirect income, and that should be recorded under the head income from investment in the credit side of the profit and loss account. The next one is by interest. Let us suppose, take example, you have deposited all your money, business money, not your individual money, business money in bank, and it is the responsibility of the bank to pay some sort of interest to you. Okay, and that interest again, it is an example of indirect income. Okay, and that should be recorded on the credit side of the profit and loss account. Then, as I told you on the very beginning of the today's class, that what is the objective, ultimate objective of preparing profit and loss account? The ultimate objective is to find out whether there is net profit or net loss. So before finding out net profit or net loss, okay, you have to find out which side shows more, whether debit side shows more or credit side shows more. If credit side shows more and debit side shows less, that means if income is more and expenses, that is debit side shows less, then there is said to be net profit, which will be transferred to the capital account by writing the notation like this: by a to net profit transferred to capital account, because net profit belongs to whom? Belongs to the owner or to the proprietor. On the other hand, if debit side shows less and credit side, debit side shows more and credit side shows less, then there is said to be net loss, which will be transferred to the again capital account, and that loss is to be borne by whom? By the owner or by the proprietor, by writing a notation on the particular column on credit side of the profit and loss account, that is by net loss transferred to capital account. But you have to remember, when there is net profit, there is no question of net loss and vice versa. Clear? So this is all about the discussion regarding profit and loss account. Any doubt on any item? Any doubt on any item recorded on the debit side as well as on the credit side? Any doubt? Are you there? Any doubt? Any doubt?
So we have to practice actually on this.
Yeah, definitely. You have to practice.
Then only will get exactly where to put debit and credit correctly.
Practice is secondary, but you should be fundamentally strong. That means which item, why this particular item is to be recorded on the debit side of the profit and loss account or trading account, or why this particular item is to be recorded on the credit side of the profit and loss account and credit side of the trading account.
Yes,
Not
sir.
only practice but also the fundamental concept that you have to remember. Already I told you, expenses are of two types: direct, indirect. Incomes are of two types: direct, indirect. All direct expenses, debit side.
Yes, sir.
Indirect expenses, debit side of the profit and loss account. Direct expenses, debit side of the trading account. Similarly, all direct incomes, credit side of the trading account. All indirect incomes, credit side of the profit and loss account. Only this thing you have to remember, and you have to find out why. Let's say, take example, why this particular item has been considered as indirect or high it has been considered as a direct. Okay, direct means which can be directly identified with the cost of production. Indirect means which will help while selling the product. That you have to segregate. Only that thing. Then secondary is practice. If you practice more and more problems, then only you can easily assess which item is to be put on which side of which account. Clear?
Yes, sir.
Any other doubt? Okay. The next we will discuss how to prepare the balance sheet. As I told you that balance sheet is a statement. Manufacturing is an account, trading is an account, balance sheet is a particular statement. Okay. Why it is a statement? Because it is to be prepared only on the last date of the financial year, that is 31st March of every year, to know the financial health or financial status of the organization or financial position of the organization. And like all other account, balance sheet is also having two sides, but there is no question of debit and credit. Listen very carefully. In balance sheet, there is no question of any debit and credit because it is a statement. Okay. Whereas manufacturing is an account, there are two sides. Trading is an account, there are two sides. Profit and loss account is an account, there are two sides, debit and credit. But balance sheet is a statement. Though it is having two sides, but there is no question of debit and credit, and the sides are, one is liability side, the left hand side of the balance sheet is known as liability side, and the right hand side of the balance sheet is known as asset side. And at the top of the format, you have to write balance sheet of Messrs. So and so, for which organization you are going to prepare the balance sheet on particular date, that is 31st March of 2025. That you have to write 25, 24, 23, like that you have to prepare. So now you have to listen how or what are the items that are to be recorded on the liability side and what are the items that are to be recorded on the asset side. But before that, you must know what do you mean by liability. Already I discussed what is the meaning of liability. Now once again I want to tell you what is the meaning of liability. Liability means all credit, okay, all obligations to pay outsider. It is the obligation of the business firm to pay outsider. Bank overdraft, it is a liability. Okay, sundry creditor, it is also an example of liability. Bills payable, it is also a liability. Outstanding expenses, expenses which are due but not yet paid, that is also a liability. Income received in advance, that is also a liability. Apart from that, you have to write another item that is called capital. Capital is a liability for the business. Why capital is a liability? Because as per the business entity concept, the owner and the business are two distinct entities. So the capital, though capital has been contributed by the owner, but it is the liability of the business to return that capital when the business is going to be closed down or going to be winded off. Okay, and with that, net profit is to be added, or else if net loss will arise, that you have to subtract from the capital. So any doubt on any item which is recorded on the liability side of the balance sheet? Bank
Sir, sundry
overdraft,
creditors once again.
sundry creditors. What? Who are the creditors? Creditors are the suppliers who have supplied raw material or products on credit to you for a different time periods. Let's say one supplier who has given product to you for a 60 days credit period. Some suppliers supplied products to you for 90 days credit period. Some suppliers supplied product to you for 30 days credit period. So total of all creditors are coming under sundry creditor. ओडिया कहले तमे जाहाटू बाकी रे किनिचो, तमे बहुत गुडे जिंस लोकंटू बाकी रे किनुचो. धर गोटे ग्रोसरी दुकान, ग्रोसरी आइटम ऊपर डील करूची. जाहाटू आमे चावल से चावल किनुची ताटू कोन डाली किनुची, चावल जे डील करूची ताटू चावल बाकी रे आनला, जे डाली रे डील करूची ताटू डाली रे बाकी रे आनला, जे चीनी रे डील करूची ताटू चीनी बाकी रे आनला. ताले समस्त कोन ठीक टाइम पीरियड रे ताको बाकीटा सुजीबो. ताले समस्त क्रेडिटर मानकु से टोटल करके मिसेई लिखि देला सन्ड्री क्रेडिटर्स. क्लियर? तार अपोजिट होची सन्ड्री डेटर. एठी देखो लायबिलिटी साइड रे जेम सन्ड्री क्रेडिटर हैला, एसेट साइड रे एठी थिबा सन्ड्री डेटर. देखो तार अपोजिट ता माने कोन, आमे काहा को बाकी रे बिक्री करछे. जेमति एठी आमे काहाटू बाकी रे आनिचे ताको फेरेबा पैसा, सेमति आमे काहा को बाकी रे बिक्री करछे ताठो हमें पैसा कलेक्शन करिया, ताले सेटा हला सन्ड्री डेटर. सन्ड्री डेटर रा अपोजिट हला सन्ड्री क्रेडिटर, सन्ड्री क्रेडिटर रा अपोजिट हला सन्ड्री डेटर. क्लियर?
Yes, sir.
Then coming to the asset side of the balance sheet, asset means all properties of the organization which are visible, okay, which are tangible in nature, okay, that you have to record on the asset side of the balance sheet. Some items you have recorded on the trading account, some items you have recorded in the profit and loss account, and the leftover items, okay, out of the leftover items that you have to record in the balance sheet of the concerned firm or the concerned organization. So the first item is cash in hand. Cash in hand means how much cash is there with you that you have to record in balance sheet on the first item, that is cash in hand. Then second item is cash at the bank. Okay, how much amount is there in the bank account that you have to write in the cash at the bank. Then how much investment you have made during the last financial year. Okay, that you have to record in the on the asset side. Bills receivable, that you have to record. When bills receivable will arise, where you sold goods on credit to different customer upon whom you do not have sufficient faith, then you can ask them that please give a written request that I so and so have purchased this much worth of goods, and I promise to return that amount after 10 days or after 15 days or after 1 month. So that written requisition is known as bills receivable from the organizational point of view. Similarly, another asset is prepaid expenses. That means you have paid in advance, but the service you have not yet received. So that is called prepaid expenses. The next item, sundry debtor already explained. Closing stock, that is the stock which is lying at the end of the financial year. That is one item of asset that is to be recorded on the asset side. Then furniture, how much furniture is there, how much motor vehicle, worth of motor vehicles are there, that you have to record, how much plant and machinery are there, that you have to record on the asset side of the balance sheet, how much land and building will be there, that you have to record on the asset side, how much patents and trademarks, patents and trademarks, that you have to write on the asset side of the balance sheet, as well as how much goodwill is there, that is name and fame or the reputation of the firm. That is one example of intangible asset. Intangible asset, goodwill, the name and fame of the reputation of the firm. Let's say take example Kala Mandir. Kala Mandir, in its polypack, it is writing Odisha's most fashionable shop. Okay, why it is why Kala Mandir is writing like this? Because the goodwill of Kala Mandir is more in comparison to any other garment shop like Ambar or Kedarsan or Satyam Sundaram, like that. Okay, so after posting all the items on the liability side as well as all the item on asset side, you have to total it. If the total of liability will be same or will be equal with the total of asset, then you there is no wrong at all, either preparation of the manufacturing account or trading account or balance sheet, or if on the other hand, if the liability will be mismatched, or if the liability will be mismatched, then you have to assume that there may be some wrong with this balance sheet, or let's say profit and loss account or manufacturing account or trading account itself. Okay, so this is all about the preparation of balance sheet. Any doubt regarding any term? Okay, so let us solve one problem on this particular topic, that is how to prepare trading account, profit and loss account, and balance sheet. Okay, so this is the question illustration. Balances taken from the book of Messrs. Niranjan prepare trading profit and loss account for the year ending 31st December 2006 and balance it as on that date. That means trading account, you have to prepare trading account, you have to prepare profit and loss account as well as in the balance sheet. So this is the question that, see, different items are there, capital is there, building, machinery, debtor, general expenses, rent paid, drawings, electric charges, carriage inward, cash at bank, return outward, salaries, discount allowed, opening stock, bills payable, sales, purchases, wages, cash in hand, sundry creditor, return inwards, closing stock. So these are the different items. Already we discussed, out of these several items, what are the items that to be recorded on the trading account, what are the items to be recorded on the profit and loss account, and the leftover items are to be recorded on the balance sheet to find out the financial position of the organization. Let us prepare the trading account. So at the top of the solution, you have to write trading and profit and loss account of Messrs. Niranjan for the year ending 31st December 2006. What is there in the question? And there are two sides, that is debit side and credit side. So first item, already I told you, opening stock, that is to be recorded on the amount column. How much opening stock is there? 16,500 as per the question. Two purchases. How much purchases you made? As per the question, total amount of purchases made is 46,850. Out of that, the business farm or the Niranjan farm found out that 110 rupees or rupees of purchases found defective. So it has been returned, which is to be subtracted from the total amount of purchases in order to find out the net purchases, that is 46,740. Then after that, one item is carries inward. In order to bring that purchases item that is to be recorded on the debit side of the trading account, carries inward, the total amount is 850. Then two wages, as per the question, it is 12,500. So these are the different items. These are known as direct expenses to be recorded on the debit side of the trading account. On the credit side of the trading account, sales, how much sales you have made during the financial year? 73,500. Out of that, customer returned 450 worth of product. So how much is your net sales? Net sales is 73,050 rupees. Then as per the question, closing stock is there 18,210. Then our objective is to find out whether there is gross profit or gross loss. So by seeing this, we came to know there is a gross profit of rupees 14,670 rupees, which will be transferred to the profit and loss account as the first item. So while preparing the profit and loss account, next here first item that you have to write, by gross profit transfer to profit, transferred from TD account, that is 14,670. And again from the question, you have to find out what are the different items of indirect expenses. These the highlighted items are the examples of indirect expenses, which you have to pick up from the question itself. General expenses amounting to rupees 800, rent paid amounting to rupees 3,710, electric charges 190, salaries 1,110, discount allowed, which is an example of indirect expenses that you have to record on the debit side of the trading account, profit and loss account 200. Then after that, as per the objective, we have to find out whether there is net profit or net loss. So by this, we saw that there is a net profit of rupees 8,660 rupees, 660, which is to be transferred to the capital account of the Niranjan farm. So total amount is 14,670 on each side. Then after that, you have to prepare the balance sheet. So at the top of the balance sheet, you have to write balance sheet of Messrs. Niranjan as on 31st December 2006. And within bracket here, it is mentioned in order of liquidity, means the items which can be immediately converted into cash, that is to be recorded first on both the side, as well as liability as well as asset. Okay. So the first item, that is sundry creditor, already I explained what is the meaning of sundry creditor. The total amount of sundry creditor will be 10,000 rupees. Bills payable 5,000 as per the question. Capital, that means initial investment made by Niranjan Farm, that is 35,000. And as per the profit, net profit, as per the profit and loss account, we found out that is a net profit of 8,660 that belongs to the owner, that is to be added with this. And from that, drawings is to be subtracted. Drawings means anything, whether cash or in kind, withdrawn by the owner for his personal or domestic use, that is known as drawings, which is to be subtracted. Okay, from this. When capital contributed, that is a liability. When drawings withdrawn, that is a again asset, and this should be subtracted from the total amount of capital, and the net capital is 43,010 rupees. Okay. Coming to the asset side, cash in hand is there in the asset side, 1,800 rupees. Cash at bank is there, 3,000 rupees. Debtors, 7,000 rupees. Closing stock, 18,200 rupees. Machinery, 9,200 rupees. Building, 18,750 rupees. So after posting all the items of liabilities on the liability side and all the items on the asset side, okay, you have to total it. You have to total it. That means asset side total and liability side total. Then you have to see whether the asset is equal with the liabilities or not. If in any case asset is not equal with the liability, then you have to presume that there may be some wrong either with the preparation of manufacturing account or profit and loss account or trading account or balance sheet itself. And if by any means it matches, then there is no question of any wrong at all. Clear? So with this, we completed discussion about financial statement. And again, I am requesting all of you that please practice as many problems from your book or from the material provided from the side of your esteemed organization. And practice, and if you find any kind of difficulty, you can ask in the tomorrow's class. We'll go for discussion regarding another important topic that is called cash flow statement. Any doubt?
So the question actually it got deleted. I had taken that.
Question. You want to see the question once again?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
See the question. This is the question.
Yes, sir.
Clear?
Thank you, sir. Yes, sir.
If you
Thank
want to take a if you want to take a screenshot, take this illustration also.
you. Yes, sir.
Taken.
Yes, sir.
Then this is the balance sheet. Clear.
Thank you,
Okay.
sir.
So welcome. So shall I leave from the today's meeting?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Tomorrow we'll meet at the same time.
Yes, sir. Thank you.